2003, our country invades Iraq, just as I am in basic training with the U.S. Army. February 2004, our platoon lands in Kuwait, preparation for our journey up north to a town called Baqiba, just north of Baghdad. About 6 months into our deployment, our platoon is tasked to go secure a perimeter around a bridge downtown for an explosive ordnance disposal team. Unbeknownst to us, insurgents placed secondary devices around the same perimeter. Shortly after I dismount the vehicle, one of these jack wagons decides to detonate one of these secondary devices. I go to run for cover, but as I take a step, I feel a sharp burning pain shoot up my leg and I fall to the ground. I've been hit. Luckily for me, the blast occurred on the opposite side of the vehicle that I was standing on, and I simply caught shrapnel from underneath my left foot. This resulted in the ultimate demise of my left pinky toe. Rest in peace, little piggy. Fun fact, you do not need your left pinky toe. In fact, I like to think that it's made me lighter, more aerodynamic. I guess the joke's on the insurgents. 2006, I deploy again back to Iraq as part of a broader U.S. initiative to help quell a rising Iraqi insurgency. The area of operations is similar to my last deployment, so this is kind of familiar territory for me. A couple months in, our base is mortared, and our team is tasked to go hunt down the bad guy based on coordinates received from our radar team. We jump in our trucks and start speeding down a dirt road towards the historic Tigris River as I look out of the back window, ready to engage at a moment's notice. And then it happens again. Our vehicle is directly hit with a large improvised explosive device. Darkness. My ears are ringing profusely as the vehicle rolls to a stop. I take the next few moments to try to determine whether I'm dead or still alive. I'm alive. This overwhelming sense of peace and calm come over me, but this kind of worries me because this is what you hear from people who tell stories about near-death experiences. I'm not dead, and I'm not going to die. This is when my training kicks in. I begin a self-assessment of my head and major arteries to make sure I'm not bleeding out. We're good. My leg has this tingling sensation, kind of like it's asleep, only exponentially worse. Something must be wrong. My brain is telling my left arm to move, but it won't. It must be broken. I look down and realize I'm covered in gasoline, oil, and any other liquid that just happened to be in the vehicle that day, and quickly determine that I need to get out of this thing before it catches on fire. I go to open the door, but it's jammed shut. I pull down the window enough to yell out for help as my platoon sergeant pulls around the vehicle and rips open the door. They load me onto a stretcher and into the medevac helicopter. As they gaze out of the open door, they fly me to the nearest combat hospital. There were 2 of us in the vehicle that day. Only 4 of us made it home. Kenneth Haynes and Troy Cooper made the ultimate sacrifice for their country. Just 2 of the 6,800 KIA since the beginning of the Afghan-Iraq wars. I spent the next 7 months recovering at Brooke Army Medical Center just outside of San Antonio. I could no longer fulfill my obligation to the U.S. military in my current capacity. As you can see from this x-ray of what is now my elbow, I was broken. Time to move on. The war for me was over, but a new battle had just begun. This concept of being broken just ate at me constantly as I tried to be normal. But every little reminder just made me angry and depressed. I soon realized that I wasn't really broken. My mission in life had simply changed, and that deserved all the dedication, motivation, and determination that I had before, if not more. And that was only solidified by other wounded veterans around me. Friends, family, and community mean more to me than they ever have before and have helped me beyond what words can describe. I will forever be grateful for the countless acts of selflessness that I've witnessed during my recovery. This bracelet on my wrist represents the story that I have just told you. And inscribed on it are the events of December 3rd, a day that has changed my life forever, and serves as a constant reminder for those lives lost and to never take my life for granted. As a wounded warrior, I have learned that pain is simply weakness leaving the body, both physically and mentally, and that I am not broken. Thank you.